Good evening. Happy Friday. I grabbed a couple of these wood pile picture frames from Hobby Lobby. Originally $6.99. I got them for 40% off. Sweet. Grabbed my Rust-Oleum clear matte finish and some of my Prima Transfers. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so you saw the intro to this video. Frame, spray it with some matte finish. The reason why I did that, it depends on the transfer that you get. So I, just personal preference. Now when I used Redesign with Prima, you don't have to seal before you put these on in the majority of the cases. Like they just stick to everything, which is really, really nice. I have found that with Iron Orchid Design transfers, I do have to seal. I had better luck sealing my project first before applying the Iron Orchid Design transfers, just to make sure that everything sticks. But because this is raw wood and it's a little rough to the touch, I didn't sand it. I could have, I probably should have, but I didn't. So I just took the easy way out and I just sprayed it with a matte clear, just to kind of make it a little more level, because they're, like I said, I mean, you can definitely feel some of the wood grains. The purpose of that is I wanted to get that finish in most of the little areas, because you don't want air bubbles underneath your transfers. It'll make them bubble in time and peel off. So that's why I put just a sealant on first, just to kind of fill up all those little tiny like cracks and crevices and whatnot. So but yeah, so this is a Redesign with Prima transfer, and typically these come, this one came in 2 sheets, this particular one 2 identical sheets. So I got the same flowers on both sheets. And what I like about them is you can cut them apart, you can use them on different projects. Same with the Iron Orchid Design ones too, you can do that with those as well. With Prima, you get like a little wood stick. With the Iron Orchid Design, you get like a clear plastic kind of one. I'm not too exclusive with the products and the whatever I use, especially with transfers. If it's pretty and I want it for a project, I'm gonna get it, right? You can get a lot of transfers. You can Iron Orchid Design, you can find a retailer. Same with Redesign with Prima. You can find a lot of rub-on transfers on Etsy as well, which is really nice, and you can even find some on Amazon, so which makes it easy and nice. So I did just do this one. So this is kind of where we're going with this project. I might add a little more green over here, greenery, I'm not sure, just to kind of fill that corner. I did cut it down. I can always add these leaves in, which actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll just set that aside. I'll finish that later. But I'm gonna show you guys kind of how I do this. Now these frames do have a lip on them, which makes it a little more complicated. If you're a first time user of transfers, I would definitely recommend, just trying it on a regular flat surface. Don't get anything with a lip like this, because it can get a little bit complicated. Not too much if you're used to using them, but yeah, definitely a first time user, I would suggest using or putting these on just like a flatter surface. So Redesign with Prima has these grid lines, which is really nice. Do I have, hold on, let me see if I have, pretty sure I have an Iron Orchid Design, I do. And I'll just show you the Iron Orchid Design transfers also have a grid. Now the Iron Orchid Design, they did just come out with a new template, which I don't have up here, where it actually comes like in a big pad, like almost like a notepad. So it's, you know, different sheets and you just can kind of flip through it. This is kind of their old, well, it is their old way of how they would do their transfers. This one's all cut up, but you can see here on this piece, their grid lines are a lot smaller and thinner, which I think is a little more helpful when doing smaller projects. Because I mean, that's a huge difference as far as grid lines are concerned for cutting and just making sure that everything's where you want it. Yeah. edit out this part of the video. Maybe not. It's real life, whatever, it happens. There, okay. The lemons on this bench behind me too, those are also Iron Orchid design. It's called Lemon Drop. I just ordered another one. If you are in my area too, Jessica over at Abracadabra Refurbished here in La Crosse, she is selling Iron Orchid design transfers. So, right, you can do this at home. You can go to the store, her store, and buy them. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. So anyway, let's get started. So because there is a lip right here, what I'm gonna do is, it's just gonna make life a whole lot easier. And you guys know me, I just eyeball stuff. And we're just gonna go piece by piece across this. That one, I did actually do it fully across, which took a little more time. But I'm used to working with these, so I just thought with the video, I'll just show you kind of the easier way, and the more you use these, you'll find what works best for you. You do not want to take the transfers off this white backing until you are absolutely sure where you're gonna place it and whatnot. I already knew, but you might want to kind of hover over just to kind of line things up before you push it down. Once this is down, like on here, you are going to have parts that most likely will stick. So if you pull it back up to reposition it, it's not 100% guarantee that you're going to get this entire transfer pulled back up with it. Some parts might stick on your project. So just be very, very aware of that. And then you're just going to take your little tool, your stick. I've lost these many times before, and I've used a Pampered Chef pan scraper. I've used a wooden spoon. I've gotten creative. But anything with a flat surface. I have used a putty knife. Do not recommend that. I was just in a pinch. I was very, very careful, but anything with a sharp edge, you're probably gonna cut right through your transfer, which you don't wanna do because that defeats the whole purpose of applying a transfer, right? So I'm just gonna go kind of down this crease right here. And once I got that crease pretty rubbed down, I'm gonna go and rub on the side of this little lip here. I always give it a good rub down before I really start rubbing and pulling back the clear. Helps everything kind of stick for me, which is nice. So now I'm gonna start at one end, and I'm just gonna pull up the clear, can't find my words. This stuff, this plastic stuff, I'm pulling it up as I'm pushing the transfer down with my tool. And you can see it leave the plastic. It almost gets like a hazy, milky kind of white. And that's when you know that the transfer is laying down on your project. Easy peasy, guys. And now I'm gonna go on the outside and I'm gonna work my way into the lip, okay? Because if I continue to pull this way and it's not sticking to that lip, it could wreck it. So I'm just gonna start with the easiest parts of the transfer laying first. So we'll just get this outside edge. And work my way inward. And after you put on transfers too, you're gonna wanna seal them. You can use polyacrylic, polyurethane. Polyurethane though, because it has oil in it, it can change the color of your transfers. Transfers I would not recommend on putting anything for outdoors. I have done it. I have put it on flower pots and then covered it with a polyurethane. That's how I know that it kind of changes the color a little bit. And I've even gotten the polyurethane, you know, it's waterproof and then it was like UV proof or whatever, but the sun still fades the heck out of these. So I've seen people put these on their windows, on their doors, and sadly they fade. Anything with the sun is going to fade, even with a ton of poly on it. So You can put it on doors and windows. I'd recommend doing it on the inside of your doors. Windows I wouldn't recommend unless it's like shaded. Like if you have a front window with an awning and you know there's not a lot direct sunlight into your window, for shizzle, knock yourself out. But that sun hits it, it's gonna fade it just like it would anything else, even with that UV protection on it. So, but you can put these pretty much anywhere. Cupboards, cabinets, refrigerators, other appliances, dressers, freezers, walls. You can put these on walls. As far as sealing them on walls, I would maybe use a salve or not use anything at all. I mean, technically you don't have to unless you're, you know, like my grandma's generation, they wash their walls. Fine, put it on the wall, but don't go over it with like a cleaner or anything. Just go over it with a dry cloth, gently. Otherwise, you can use like a Wise-L salve. Or you can cover your wall with a sealant. Whatever floats your boat. I can't say with 100% certainty because I personally have not put it on my wall. I just know that you can do it. So I would definitely recommend maybe typing it into YouTube or Google and finding out how some of these other people seal it when they put them on walls. Chelsea from Apple Blossom Way. Oh my God, that girl is amazing. It's actually where I got this idea. This is not an original idea. I mean, I put transfers on everything, right? But she had these 2 wood frames and she actually used this exact transfer and I'm like, I like that. That's really pretty. I'm gonna do it. So this is kind of a copy. But anyway, this woman has done so much with her house. It is unreal and gorgeous and beautiful and rustic and I just love watching her stuff. But anyway, she has put transfers on her walls. I have not watched that particular video, so I can't tell you how she sealed it, but she did. Okay, so I kind of want to line this guy up. The reason why I didn't line it up all the way to the edge is because I had that lip right there, right? And I didn't want to throw my measurements off. So I'm going to cut roughly right at the edge of that stem. And we're just going to carry this little guy over the edge of the frame. Pew. Hover, hover, hover before I lay. Make sure it's all, oh, come on. Make sure it's lined up. Clearly I cut it at an angle. So you're gonna line it up at an angle. And I'm just gonna slowly push down, just kind of hold it. Give it a good one over. And then I'll start pulling. Edges are fine if it goes over the edge. Don't worry, you literally can just push it right over, or you can sand it. Whatever your heart desires. But yeah, Apple Blossom Way, you guys. Her house is amazeballs. I'm actually going to paint and put transfers on a pair of my sneakers. Yep, she's done it. So did Debbie though, on Debbie's Design Diary. She did some shoes as well and some jeans and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with transfers and paint. Okay, and you're gonna take this and you're just gonna rub over this transfer. You're just making sure that every little bit of it is adhered to your project. There's no air bubbles. Lay those edges over. Make sure everything's nice and laid down. And like I said, once I'm done putting this transfer on, I will be going over it with a clear sealant. So there's that. Now I think I want greenage. This is the hard part, kind of deciding. Okay, well, let's cut across here. Right there. I'm just eyeballing it. You guys can totally measure it. You can flip it over, you can trace it, but that's not how I roll. You guys know this. I like to be rebellious. Okay. It's coming from the bottom. So we are going to cut right about there. That works. Now I definitely want the stems running off the bottom, so I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way in. Right up to that crease. And then I'm going to hit the crease, hit the edge, and then the fold over. Which I came up a little short, which is fine. We'll fix it. Don't worry. Okay. Bottom fold up. Oh, for land's sake, come on, little stubborn piece. I feel like I'm doing a live even though this is going to be an edited video. I was about to say, what's up? How is everybody? What are y'all doing this weekend? Yeah, and I forgot that I'm totally doing this as unedited. Why? Because my kids are still awake. My pets were being obnoxious. I just didn't know how that live was going to go. So that's why I didn't do this live. But nobody's being loud and obnoxious and crazy, so I actually probably could have done a live. There's that. Okay, so you came from here, so I am going to add bottom since I didn't cut far enough. And again, I mean, I can cut these out and use them on other projects. So always save your scraps of transfers. Transfers, depending upon what you get, what brand, where you get them from, they're reasonable, but they can be spendy. So just a heads up. That's why it's so important that A, you make sure you know what you're doing with them, and B, that you hover before you rub, right? Because there's no way to get a transfer off a project if you kind of screw it up. I mean, it's donezo. You're gonna have to sand it off. Game over. So that's why hovering is very important. Making sure you keep that backing on. Because if I would have not lined this up right, it would have just been, I mean, I could add other transfers over it. You can put transfers over transfers too. I mean, I would have found a way to fix it, but as far as actually lining up the actual transfer, no, it would have been done. So just be cautious. But that's why I really encourage you guys. I mean, don't be intimidated by transfers. They're easy, but just, yeah, follow those basic instructions and you're good to go. They're easy to apply. They add lots of life and detail. A lot of Iron Orchid Designs' latest transfers look hand painted, which is really cool. Like the sunflower thing I just did. I can show you guys projects here too that I've been working on. Okay, little guy, you came from here. Why didn't I just go all the way over? I mean, seriously. I am not the best planner, a header. Anybody who knows me can tell you that. I want to start at the bottom. I do. Okay, making sure that's lined up nicely before I started rubbing. And that part's gonna get a little goofed up, so I'm gonna cut that. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. How did this guy line up? Were you like this? I think you were just like that. And if you weren't, well, that's just how you're gonna be now. I think you'll look okay. That's not right. La, 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 la. I don't think I'm gonna go over the lip on this side. That's where I was at with that. Okay. I am gonna go up this side right here. Yes, I realize I'm cutting some of these petals off and whatever, but again, they work great for fill on other projects. I'm gonna put that down on there. So it's fine, it works out perfectly splendid. Rub and pull back. You're gonna want to do it slowly too, because like I said, once in a while you get a little piece of transfer that just kind of pops right up and doesn't want to cooperate. So then you just lay the plastic back down and rub, like right there. And if a piece is really stubborn and just won't lay it, turn the project around if you can, or come at it from a different angle, and sometimes that can get it to lay down as well. Ta-da! There, how cute is that? Okay, I'm gonna add a little something up here. Okay, I want to fill a space up here. So I'm taking this guy. Just cutting it like that there. Okay. So thinking about having that come down like that. And that's just it. You can cut these and manipulate them any which way you want to fill any spaces you want to fill. Now I didn't rub on this part of the flower because I don't want that on there. I don't want a half flower, right? You just rub on what you want to fill that space. Thought this blue would be pretty too. Maybe not. That might be okay. I could put them on the corner here. This side. From there. Strawberries on a summer evening. blue in there. I like that. Want to add anything else? No, I think we are good. So my 2 frames. Aren't those cute? Pretty? Yeah? I'll take some stills for you guys, like I typically do. I do feel like I need some down here because I did not go all the way bottom with those, all the way to the bottom with those stems, which just kind of seems silly. I'm not really sure why I didn't. So like here, this guy. Got some greenage. Don't stick on there. Okay, so I mean, like I can add bits and pieces on the bottom too, to kind of cover that up. To kind of cover those stems up. Mesh them in just like that. See? Just gotta be creative, right? What did we play back in the 80s and 90s? Tetris. Can be the same concept. So there was one stem on here. I just kind of lined up with another stem. And the rest of this little greenage foliage is just going to kind of cover those stems because I didn't go to the bottom with them. Again, I don't know why I didn't. I mean, they looked fine, but I wanted them down at the bottom. It's okay. We'll just sand you off. There. Okay. Voila. They are done. Transfers in wood, guys.